These are the top 5 reasons not to buy the new iPhone XS or the XS Max. If you're looking for reasons to pick up Apple's latest phones, skip to this time code. Now, these lists are based on Apple's event. Things can change after a full review. You ready to do this thing? Let's do it. And number 5 is your standard anti-iPhone argument. The XS and Max have no headphone jack, you can't expand the storage easily, and you cannot change your default apps. Also, if you like that home button or Touch ID, those are gone too. At number 4, they're not all that different from the iPhone X. The iPhone XS and Max don't really have that many new or unique tricks. Oh, okay, a fancy bokeh effect? We've seen it. Memojis? We've seen it. Notch? Seen it. Face ID? Seen it. Dual rear cameras and a vertical orientation? We've seen it. If you've got an iPhone X, you've got very little reason to upgrade. Number 3 is the price. The XS starts at $999 and goes all the way up to $1,349. The XS Max starts at $1,099 and maxes out at $1,449. Do you really want to spend that much money on an S model? Coming in at number 2, no 5G. 2018 is a terrible year for upgrading your phone. 5G networks are coming very soon. Yes, the XS and Max, henceforth known collectively as SMACs, have gigabit LTE, but that's a stopgap. When 5G wireless networks go online, the SMACs won't be able to take advantage of them. Before we get to number 1, let's talk about 5 reasons to buy the iPhone XS or S Max. At number 5, we've got new finishes on the new iPhones. Yes, this is very superficial, but it's still a reason. There's silver, space gray, and gold options, and they're shiny. So shiny. Coming in at number 4 is the dual SIM capability. If you've got a work line and a personal one, you can put them both in one phone. Yes, lots of other phones have had this ability in the past, but the XS and XS Max are the first iPhones to support the feature. Dual SIMs can also be really handy if you travel a great deal. At number 3, new camera tricks. Apple showed off the ability to change the depth of field after a picture was taken using the newest iPhones. It's kind of like that Litro camera that came out a few years ago. Number 2 are the storage options. The iPhone XS and XS Max can be outfitted with 512 gigabytes of storage. I believe that's a first for an iPhone as well. And the number 1 reason to pick up an iPhone XS or the Max is the power. Apple claims its newest iPhones can launch apps up to 30% faster. At the keynote, we also saw some very impressive augmented reality apps, like an app that can analyze how you shoot a basketball. Gaming looked good too. The developers were quick to note that what we saw was only possible thanks to the new iPhone. Okay, back to the negative side. And the number 1 reason not to buy SMACs is the iPhone XR. It starts at around $750, and it's a lot like the SMACs. The XR has the same processor and Face ID as the SMACs. On top of that, it generally has the same SMACs experience, no home button and gesture-based iOS. While the XR has just one rear camera, it does have a similar portrait mode and depth control like the SMACs. Also, the XR has an interesting size. It has a 6.1-inch screen. It's a little bit bigger than the S and a bit smaller than the Max. The XR is kind of a wild card in the iPhone lineup. That does it for us. We'll have full reviews of the S and the S Max at CNET. I'm Aya Zakhtar, and I'll argue anything.